In film, you don't, though. And so that does make a big difference, I'm sure, in terms of...
No, it's murder in film. There's the expert.
Yeah. Oh. I think in the material itself, this is what I do. You see something, as though it were a piece of music, and which is much more definite, obviously. There are these notes, and you sing the notes. But in that same way, there is the material, there's the text and the situation and so on, and you have that, and you see it yourself, what you think the truth of it is, and what you think is humorous about it. And you do think something's humorous about it, because I think simply playing it straight is different. There is a difference. You can turn something humorous into something serious. You can do that, and suddenly some lovely English comedy can become very maudlin. I mean, I've seen it happen. So there is something that you do where you do understand that it's humorous. But then you just sort of do the piece. And as you envision it in your mind, without the audience there. In a film, there isn't one. Actually, there are people, but they have to be very quiet, so they can't respond. So you have to just do it as you see it, and as you've maybe worked it out with a director, and allow it to be seen by the camera. And you kind of give up the response. But you do the truth that you see in your mind, as though you were painting a canvas.
Don't you think acting is very mental?
I do.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
I would say, in addition to what Madeline said, that with three camera television, when you have good writer producers and a good director, as we did with Mary, who are experienced in the business, all that week they're bringing you along, no matter if they've seen it 50, 100 times. When you're doing it right on the line, they do a laugh. They're doing you a laugh. They're bringing you along. They're giving you that little denotation that you're there, you're in there, you're in there, so that you don't begin to self-doubt at the silence. Then you deliver it to the audience. In film, I gather what happens is they give you the laugh during rehearsal. During rehearsal, they're giving you the laugh, or they should be. I would think
Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes you please the crew, and this is the worst thing you can do. In a film, you do things to make those people laugh, and it really is not the truth of the material. And you do things to make those people laugh, you make them laugh, and when the movie is made, it is not funny.
Well, then the director has to know that.
Well, yes, but they often don't. They often don't. They often don't. Sometimes they do.
You found that with yourself?
I certainly have.
Do you sometimes watch rushes?
I haven't done that. I mean, excuse me, I have not.
Oh,
and that's why I'm a wet blanket. You know I'm a wet blanket. You know I am. And I don't try to please. I try to, I see it, it looks desperate to me. I'm sorry, but it does. Trying to please the people who are standing there. That maybe you will please them, but I mean, deliberately doing that so that you know they'll laugh, and that's your proof that you've done it well, as opposed to really dwelling on the task at hand and the material at hand. I don't just try to get the approval. That's not what I do, and I very often don't get it, but I have to believe, well, anyway, I made the choice that what I'm doing is right. And I have to say that invariably, in my case, it has been right, and therefore, I think I've escaped scathing notices in some very bad films. I have escaped. I floated away. You know, in some really bad films.
Jumping from films and television to the theater, what brought you here? Nancy and Ed?